More power to the people. It's MOPOWERZ. And we are back this MORNING very early. How are you all doing? How are you enjoying your retirement? How have you all been enjoying your retirement while on quarantine? Hopefully, you've been doing better than most people who have been doing in LA, where they have $1,000 fine that you can get slapped with if you're out in the sun. And if you've been watching other videos that I've made on my other channel, The Mo Show Chicago, you've noticed that I'm always in the sun. They don't want you to get any vitamin D. And vitamin D is very important to your body, especially for Black people. According to medical experts, Black people lack vitamin D. I'm just saying. I'm not saying this. Medical researchers and scientists are saying this. In fact, speaking of vitamin D and nutrition, did you know that the nutritionist whom you believe in regards to what's healthy for you and what's not healthy for you really don't know what's healthy for you, because every 5 years nutrition value changes with the FDA approval. Now you have people in the world who argue with the FDA now, seeing that these recommendations for nutrients and foods that are good for you are actually destroying your body. Not to mention the fact that we're eating fake food. Not to mention the fact that those who are drinking tap water that's full of fluoride, that fluoride is deteriorating your bones. I'm just saying. Still want to get some of that sunshine? But speaking of sunshine, I want to get back to that real quick. Uh, like I said, people who are living in LA are getting slapped with $1,000 fine if they are caught sun gazing, getting some of that good vitamin D. Alaska is slapping you with $5,000 fine and/or jail time. Washington D.C. is slapping you with $5,000 fine and/or jail time. Um, Washington State is also giving you a $5,000 fine and/or jail time, while the city of New York Governor Cuomo have given police orders to hand out $250 to up to $500 citations for not following the rules of this coronavirus epidemic. Unbelievable. So now that you're in jail in your own home, what do? I hope you've been doing some things that have been keeping you occupied. Now I know that um, last time that we were here, I was talking about how this channel would be a somewhat a religious channel. However, seeing that many people are not too religious anymore, seeing that you can actually see the truth now because falsehood is not winning today. People are actually waking up and truth is knocking out falsehood brains. In fact, that is the duty of truth, is to knock out the brains of falsehood. That's right. Now, if you don't believe that that is the duty of falsehood, to not, excuse me, if you believe me, if you don't believe that truth can knock out the falsehood of brains, just look at when a person who is lying to another person about a third party, and that third party walks in the room. What happens to that person that is lying? What does their aura becomes? What demeanor do you get from them? Why? Because truth has stepped on the scene. In fact, truth is hitting Black people in the face right now, not just in America, but worldwide. If you have not been watching, many of you all have not been watching because you've been watching nothing on these social network sites. You've been watching nothing on the television. I'm just saying, you've been doing nothing, playing video games all day, wasting valuable brain time, not to mention destroying brain time. Because all of the while you're sitting in front of that TV and that Xbox is eating your brain up, radiation. That's right, it's all in the controls, it's all in the game itself. Not the controls, but the game itself. Your TVs, your microwaves, smartphones, smartwatches. Radiation is all around you. All around you. But you say that you're conscious. You say that you're conscious. Not to mention the fact that we got an issue here, Black America, with the Chinese. We have an issue here with the Chinese worldwide, as I stated earlier. Somehow got off into the smartwatches and the smartphone. But we, as Black people in America and worldwide, really need to get our act together. Look at what happened to those Black people over in China. They cannot even get food in a restaurant. Who's going to feed them? Who's going to feed them? Will it be your favorite entertainer? Will it be your favorite athlete? No, it won't. Will it be your favorite politician? No, it won't. In fact, the people that's over there in China, the Black people who are being kicked out of China, who cannot eat in China, and who cannot get out of China because no flights are flying, what are they to do? What are they to do? Where is the help that they need now? All of these very, very rich, filthy rich people. Oprah Winfrey. Where you at? Where you at, Oprah? In fact, Oprah has been a big disappointment to Black people all around the world. All around the world, Oprah has been a disservice to Black people. What has Oprah done for Black people? Billionaire. You say, well, she opened a school up in Africa. Well, that's over in our Kubalan, but we need help right here. We need help right here. It's sad that they need help, seeing that all of the world natural resources that everyone needs to function as a country is there in our Kubalan, and those people who's on that land can't even defend themselves, won't fight, won't stand up for themselves, while everything is being taken away. As Dr. John Henry Clark said, we have no friends. If you want a friend, look in the mirror. My brother out there in the South Bronx talking about we should pray. Pray for what? Black people have been praying since they've been over here. Not to mention the fact that some was already over here when John Hoodie Hawkins came over here in 1555, okay, on a ship named Jesus. On a ship named Jesus, while silly Christian people are going around praying to Jesus when they were brought here on a ship named Jesus in 1555. How many years is that after Columbus so-called made it to the Americas, but he never stood foot on North America. He made it to South America. But anyway, for those black people who pray and go to church, go to the mosque and pray, go to the synagogue and pray, wherever you go and pray to, prayer has never helped black people. Where was prayer at when we was getting raped? Where was prayer at when we were getting lynched? Where were prayers at when white America used to put their canine dogs on us and allow them to viciously eat us up while they, the police, law enforcement, would sit back and laugh and actually just like have fun making the dog bite you. You don't be agitating the dog. They agitate the dog for you so that the dog can eat you up while they are so-called doing their job. And their job is to do what? Destroy you. Their job is to do what? Keep you a slave. That's what prayer would do. Praying to that Jesus, praying to that Allah, praying to that Jehovah. In fact, where is all of these great deities at right now during this huge epidemic? Why isn't your Jesus, your Allah, or your Jehovah controlling what's going on in the world of politics if he has the power over everything and everybody in the world? Unbelievable. Do you see how silly religion sounds in this day and age? Religion is used to control people. But not only is religion used to control people, fear is used to control people. I'm just saying, remember when you went to church and church members and the preacher man would always tell you, don't question God, But see, at the same time that they were telling you to don't question God and you should fear God, they never told you where God was at. But it was always right in that book. And then when some did try to explain it to see, and you could see how dumb they were, because they would tell you, the Lord upstairs, the heaven upstairs, not realizing that the God is in you. That is one of the main problems of black people anyway, always trying to follow somebody else's religion. And just so happens all of these religions that black folks believe in don't have anything to do with black folks. So what is your prayer going to do? What is your prayer going to do? Hell, where was those prayers at? Where was that Jesus and Jehovah and Allah at when policemen has been running rampant, killing black folks, especially during the Obama administration? Where was the Jesus, Allah, Jehovah at then? Where was the prayers at then? Where was the church then? Where was the mosque then? Where was the synagogue then? Then you have all of these other people who believe in Islam. Their mosques were being blown up. They were getting shot in their own mosques all across the country. Where was Jehovah at? Excuse me, where was Allah at? I'm just saying. This has been a major problem. Black people have always been disillusioned about what's really going on in the reality in which we live. In fact, black people in America are 400 years behind. Some people say 40 years behind politically. Young Pharaoh, I say 400 versus your 40, because black people have not came back to their senses from it being knocked out when we were being brought over here, for those that was not already here, because some of us was already here. And we pray for what? Why all of these deities that you talk about don't take this evil, demonic ruling government? Why don't your God, Jehovah, Allah, Jesus deal with that? Don't tell me that that is the working of your higher power. The higher power is within yourself. Once you understand that the God is in you and that you were made a God to Pharaoh, then you'll understand where your power lies. Until then, as far as you reading these Christian books, Muslims books, Jewish books, Zen books, Hindu books, whatever book it is, it's man-made. Has nothing to do with the universal God. Has nothing to do with the universal God. Yes, that's right. The universal God, not the God that's within you. You are the God. And as long as you don't know that you are the God, we will always be last and be on the list of extinction. In fact, we should be on the list, black folks, we should be on that extinction list with the animals, okay? We are endangered species. And if this latest stunt don't tell you that we are an endangered species, you are a fool. You are a fool. This is the day of separation. These are the days of separation, not just for black people, but for white people, for Chinese people, for Japanese people, for Puerto Rican people, for Norway people, Sweden people, for everybody on this planet. This government, as some people call the deep state, okay, the shadow government, the deep state is turning all of the wheels on both sides, turning the wheels against who? You, the little people. Those 90% that is controlled by the 10%. And how do the 10% control 90% of people? Through fear. Not only through fear, but miseducation and religion. And speaking of miseducation, this is the perfect time for black people to start really educating your children. Because when you consistently send your child to be educated by your enemy, your child will always disrespect you, and your child will not believe that a black man or a black woman can tell them anything that will elevate them in life. Why? Because you're sending them to a school to be educated by people who don't look like them, people who don't understand what their values are and what they have to go through being in the position that they're in. You would rather send your children to school to be educated by the enemy versus being self-educated by you. In fact, a lot of states, residents that's in states are taking their children out of public school and are homeschooling them. That's right. Right now, while we're on this quarantine, they have our children being educated through artificial intelligence. They got their fire Kindles, they got their iPad, getting all of these school assignments. And I know this because I'm a sub-educator. I know what I'm talking about. I educate kids. That's right. And I did say sub-educator. In fact, I'm glad that I'm a sub-educator because I get an opportunity to go around to all different types of schools. I get to meet all different types of students. I get to meet all different types of staffs so that I'm not left in one school stale, dealing with the same thing, same people, same staff every day. The more I get around, the more I learn. The more I get to express myself and move. But I'm just like everybody else right now, unemployed. So nobody is better than anybody. In fact, school teachers don't get honored at all. Hell, they have entertainers and athletes making more than teachers, and that's sad because these teachers are supposed to be educating your children. Your children are the future. What type of future is your child going to have with a basketball? What type of future is your child going to have with the football? What type of future is your child going to have with the baseball? There's only so many slots on so many teams, and only so many get selected. So where does that leave you? Where does that leave you? Without vision, the people perish. Without vision, the people perish. Not only that, what? We suffer for lack of knowledge. And those who try to bring you knowledge, what do? Nigga, you don't know what you're talking about. Nigga, you don't know what you're talking about. But I guess Donald Trump does. Joe Biden does. George Bush does. Hillary Clinton does. Your school teacher does. You know, it's sad, but that's what it is. It's sad, that's what it is. And in fact, to go on with the conversation, with this prayer thing, how about you pray that Bill Gates and Anthony Fauci and Obama be brought up on charges, okay, for conspiracy, okay? How about that? How about that? In fact, Bill Gates admitted that I told you back then that he knew about it in 2015. I told you that a couple of weeks ago, maybe on the Mo Show Chicago. But Bill Gates been knowing about this since 2015. In fact, he's been over there vaccinating people in Africa for the last couple of years, but it hasn't been vaccination. He's actually been killing them with the vaccine. I'm just saying, and right now, today, with this corona thing, okay, the virus is in the vaccine. Like, come on, people. You got to work with each other here because we are all that we have. We have no friends. Nobody likes us. Hell, we can't even get nothing to eat in a restaurant, okay? In fact, that sounds like something that took place in the 60s, in the 50s, in the 40s, when Black people here in America could not eat at white people establishments. I'm just saying, you have to think about all of this stuff now while you got the time. You know how women and men would say to another person who's trying to talk to them about a situation, oh, I ain't got time right now. Well, right now, you got plenty of time to hear what people have to say versus you being online, looking at the little children, grown people, private parts, while you at home online seeing who's twerking, while you online talking about nothing, looking at nothing, scrolling down the page, trying to find nothing. You should be posting something uplifting for people around the world can see that we are. Yes, that's right. I said that you are God in person. If you are not God in person, who is God? Because you are the only one who's going to fix this problem, this crisis. The world is watching, Black man, Black woman. The world is watching. What is your God going to do? What is your Jesus going to do? What is your Muhammad going to do? Well, just look inside yourself, because obviously none of them is coming to help anybody. So we can throw the religion stuff out of the window. I got an idea. Next time I be on this channel. If not, you have to catch it on the Mo Show Chicago. Am I making any sense to you all? Am I making any sense to you all? Maybe not. Jesus is not going to work it out. Jesus is not going to work it out. We, you, the God that you see in the mirror, is going to have to work it out. That's just facts. Don't argue with me. Argue with your own material, which I've always used to help talk to you or break it down for you in your own book, as I've left you chapters and verses of where to find that which I'm speaking on or have spoke upon. But I'm not going to keep you too long. I just wanted to drop that off on you and bring something to you, seeing that I promised you I would be here, 72 hours ago with something about religion, but religion is not something that we need today. There are times when I would go into a book of religion or books of religion when need be, seeing that some people still follow religion. But me as an individual, religion, is slavery. And if you can't see that, well, I think you need some SHADES. 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 That's right. To keep you blinded, because obviously you don't want to wake up. By all means, you all, if press that subscribe button. If you like yourself, press that subscribe button. If there is something that I said that you could use, something that was worth hearing, which I'm sure it was, press that like, press that share, press that subscribe button. Share, like, subscribe. Share, like, subscribe. I appreciate that, family. And I want to thank you for tuning in to MOPOWERZ. Tell your friends, tell your family about the MOPOWERZ, where knowledge is power. Remember, knowledge is power, and you have the knowledge to become a GOD. Thanks for watching, you all. Have a great morning.